Hello, hello. Welcome to the Daily Political Tarot and Astrology. It's the most wonderful day of the week. It's Sarah Wednesday.
Hello, my loves.
Sorry for missing that note entirely.
It's okay.
Anyway. But I'm here every single day of the year. As a matter of fact, Sarah was pointing out to me that today it is 6 months until Christmas.
Exactly.
Exactly today. And what that means in my little world is that means that as of tomorrow, I will have been on, other than 2 emergencies, I will have been on every single day for 5.5 years. Yeah, I'm always here. There's news, there's breaking news, there's no news, there's little news, there's crazy news, there's, infuriating news. I'm here with you. So we go through, it's news with friends around here. And then I read on the collective energy, or we look at what's going on in the astrology. And I give you the best information I can. And there are some, I'm not going to name names, but there are some channels on YouTube, even big channels, who will give you something that's happened in the news, but then they'll give you no sources. So-and-so is reporting, Politico is reporting, CNN is reporting, no. Which is weird. But there's all of the regular noon live streams are timestamped. There are links to the sources, if there are any to be had, which is kind of why I'm always late. So before I came on, Sarah and I were going over the questions and the news and making sure we had the best information possible. So hopefully this is your source. This is a good source of news for you, even if you're not the biggest fan. So anyway, Sarah does look wonderful. Sarah is wonderful.
Thank you. And today is Amy Kircher's birthday. So happy birthday, Amy.
Happy birthday, Amy. Happy birthday. I'm glad you like the background. I loved this. Absolutely loved it. And I've got these textured, kind of glittery blue nails to match. So, okay. If you're watching on replay, hello. You can go down in the description box. All the questions are listed there. A timestamp. No, Miss Sarah will be here. So Miss Sarah will be timestamping as we go. So you can pick and choose what you're interested in, or you can watch back on a higher speed or whatever works for you. All right. I've got a lot of stuff open that doesn't need to be. And what I need to have open is the questions, because we get talking and I get lost.
And just a heads up, I am expecting a very important call. It won't take long, but I am expecting a very important call today. So if that happens while we are together, I will be popping off for just a second. I'll just be down below. You won't be able to see me, but I'll still see you. And I will be right back here ASAP. So like a minute or two. But if I go away, it's fine. I'm okay. I'm good. I just got to take a call. So
okay. And she'll have her good eye on you.
I will. As my granddaddy would say, I'd had my good eye on it. The man was completely blind in one eye and had tunnel vision in the other.
Oh,
he meant when he said he had his good eye on it. So.
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't. I thought it was more.
No. It was no. It's fine. It's fine. He joked. It's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So, and thank you again to our troll slayers. So we are going to jump in.
Yes.
On today's episode, there was a major shakeup in the New York City mayoral primary. We're starting there. It's very exciting. The dumpster fire, President Blunderdum revealed he was told ahead of time that it would be bombed in Qatar. And he gave the okay? He okayed us being bombed.
His exact words are, I said, yeah, that's fine.
No.
This all came out of the NATO press conference this morning. Yep.
Impeach him. Impeach him.
Well, we'll be talking about that later, too.
Oh, that's infuriating.
Mm-hmm.
Heck no. Also, the state GOP, they're basically, there's a new party forming that's tearing the Georgia Republican Party apart. Yeah. Anyway.
All right.
Oh, Aaron Parnas headline news: Trump will limit classified information shared with Congress. Impeach him. I mean, I don't like Shady Vance at all. At all. Mean Marshmallow? No, I don't like him at all. Misogynistic Marshmallow. That's Shady Vance. But wow. But we're starting with what is potentially good news at 6 minutes, 20 seconds in.
Yes.
Yes, Charles. Squishy. Yes.
33-year-old Democratic Socialist candidate Zoran Mamdani won in a commanding lead in the New York City Democratic mayoral primary yesterday and vastly surpassed favorite Andrew Cuomo to win. Now, keep in mind that New York City is a historically Democratic city, and so it's pretty much, people are assuming it's a shoo-in that he will eventually be mayor. This has reportedly shaken up both the DNC and RNC, with MAGA yelling Doomsday, which just makes me giggle, because it is showing what kind of candidate the current administration is guiding the public towards.
True.
Will we see more of this?
And he's young.
33, yes. Yes. He's young, he's melanated, and he's a Democratic Socialist.
Yay. As opposed to the National Socialists, which were a whole different thing.
Ixnay. No.
No, this is Democratic Socialist.
Yes. Just
okay.
Bernie-esque. Yes.
Zoran Mamdani.
Mm-hmm.
But it's very important that everybody goes out to vote. Everybody in New York, please go out to vote. Please do not take anything for granted. Amy says he's also good looking. There we go.
Yes. Yes, he is.
Oh, Isabel is asking, where's the like button? Is it not showing up? I'm in StreamYard. I'm afraid I can't see it.
It's there. It's the little thumbs up underneath the screen.
Okay. Oh, this is making the it's hard to see. This is the ace of. Okay, I can't use this deck. Ace of Wands. So, on the one hand, it's like a visceral reaction from Republicans and MAGA, but there's also some fear there. Mm-hmm. There's the cult. There's the chaos. Knight of Pentacles. They're going to throw a lot of money. The Republicans are going to throw a lot of money into this race. There's the mayor. And I think people are going to come out and vote. Let me see if I can get some clarification on this Six of Swords. Yeah, I'm going to grab a different deck. This one's too hard to see on screen in this lighting. Card for the reading. I wanted clarification. Dang, you mean clarification on this? Please vote. Do not take this for granted. Do not. And then MAGA will try to use this as to attack Democrats, but they end up on the defensive because of all of the stupidity. Because there's one thing that voters in the U.S. tend to like, and that is change. They want to try something new. Personally, I think it has to do with our ascendant being Sagittarius.
Yeah.
Because there's nothing Sagittarians like more than, ooh, let's try something new. And I know that because I have Sagittarius stellium. And every time Sarah or somebody is like, oh, I'm trying this thing, I'm like, oh, okay, what are you trying? What are you trying?
Yeah.
How is it? So, but ooh, man. The Republicans are shooting themselves in the foot. And if you and Dumpy got in by saying, I'm going to keep grocery prices down, I'm going to get rid of inflation, I'm never ever going to go to war with another country, all that stuff. Well, Democrats say that and mean it.
That part. I will say, sign of the times though, this last Saturday, Bernie came to Johnson's district and had an event at the municipal. So this is where the same place where the hayride was held, where Elvis left the building originally, and he packed it. There was there were people everywhere, completely packed house. And to that, in my red area in Johnson's district, I have hope, and hope is wonderful. So,
good.
Yes.
All right. I'm just going to use the Housewives deck because it's right here.
Fabulous. I'll get that updated.
Thank you.
You are most welcome.
Amy's asking if you went.
Oh, no, I was not able to go because you had to get there pretty early to get in line, and physically that is not the waiting in line thing. I can't do that. So, but I have many friends who went.
Did they say it was good?
They said it was wonderful. So, good. Okay.
Carol says, great reporting, Sarah. Love that info.
Yes. At 12:35, Malignant Mango is quite upset that intel leaked that the Iran bombings were not as successful as he wanted.
Aww.
And only set the country back a matter of months in nuclear development. He called those questioning on it scum. You're scum for even asking me about that. Yes. So will he now try something even more outlandish? I mean, this because, he does not like to be called out on anything. This is the man who attempted World War III because no one showed up to his birthday party. Just like somebody tried World War II because they were kicked out of art school. It does not make sense.
Right.
Yes.
Right. And if I can be so bold as to quote a line from the song that I wrote, what confronted, he is cagey.
Yes.
Dim-witted and so lazy.
Mm-hmm.
So actually there are two questions here, it feels like. And the first one is actually, what about Iran's nuclear capabilities? I just want to pull 3 cards on, because they got everything out of the way. Yes, Lewis with all the baby emojis. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Oh, look, it's a baby.
No.
Ace of Swords. Okay, well, that's sending the bombs. Boy, these are not going to work either. There's the Emperor. Trump's on the defensive. And Democrats are pulling together. Knight of Wands. Well, this is actively. This is rebuilding. This is the far right rebuilding, working hard. So, I don't think it's going to. if he's thinking or trying to pretend that, oh no, everything is going to go back to, it's going to knock them back and it's going to be years. No. Nope. Nope. All right. Are these visible? These are visible. All right. We're going with Old Faithful.
All right. I'm on it.
Thank you. So the question that was here, will the dumpster fire do something more outlandish? I got the deck and this is what I got. So let's read on this. Oh, Veronica, I hope you feel better. My heart hurts today. Being empathetic is painful. Can be, definitely. Isabel
saying has many. Sorry, go ahead.
Isabel says, give the Nobel Peace Prize to Zelensky or Biden and watch them melt down. How many decks do I have? I don't know. I don't think I've got 100. I really don't. I've got quite a few. A lot of I don't use because they're not full decks, or it turned out I don't like them.
Right.
And when I say not full decks, it's over time people have made variations, and some of them are yeah. But anyway, so President Blunderdum. What now? Is it okay that I don't actually want to turn the cards over? I mean, I will, but I don't want to. I do not have a slow enough brain and a big enough box of crayons to really understand what this man is going to do next. I just don't. Yes, his feelings are hurt. I mean, he's as cruel as the devil himself, but oh no. Shaky. See, that's the other thing. He has grifted so much, and he has actually made so much money in the last 6 months. It should be illegal. It's absolutely awful. But even with all of that, nobody respects him. Very few people respect him. Yes. Very few people respect him. And that's the thing. Narcissists, and certainly sociopaths, because they don't get dopamine the way that you or I would from a cuddle or a cute pet, or, they will often start using money as a way to keep score. Well, yeah, so he's got the most important job in the world. He's got millions upon millions of ill-gotten gains, in my opinion, and he's still not happy. And there's still people disrespecting him, and he has zero coping mechanisms.
Pretty much.
You know how some people have said, if you don't wish just to become famous, because it won't fill that hole in your heart, and it won't, yeah. Little Donnie got everything he ever wished for, and he's miserable. Decisions, big decisions, adding insult to injury, and Democrats. Democrats are getting stronger as he's making these stupid, weak decisions.
Tammy, yes, they're supposed to not make money from the position. I mean, they made Jimmy Carter sell his peanut farm, but Trump doesn't care. And who's going to hold him accountable?
Right. Republicans refused to hold Trump accountable, and the voters refused to hold Trump accountable. Just blew through the emoluments clause like it was nothing.
Tissue paper. Yeah. All right. at 2010. Okay.
All right, this makes me crazy.
So, Trump revealed this morning that he was told ahead of time by Iran they were bombing the US Qatar base, and he told them that's fine. He said this gave him the chance to get personnel evacuated, but this still left people vulnerable.
Yeah.
So will there be backlash to this?
Did he
they were
really
able to get to move all but 14 personnel from the base? And I'm like, there's no way you got all but 14 people from the base. There's just no way.
And even if you did, you said okay to a foreign country bombing one of our bases?
Right. Mm-hmm.
What the heck? That can't be. It can't. What did he say exactly? Do you have a direct? Can you?
I do.
Thank you. I need to know exactly what this guy said, because what this is saying. Mm-hmm. You know me. Look, mm-hmm. I despise Shady Vance with every fiber of my being, but this.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody says they are going to send bombs against our base, and you go, yeah, okay.
This was at the NATO summit today. The remarks came while he was speaking about Europe's military spending. It's vital this additional money be spent on various areas of military hardware, not bureaucracy, he said. And hopefully the hardware is going to be made in America because we have the best hardware in the world. He then went on to boast about how great U.S. military weapons are. You saw that. Working vessels were shot at us the other day, and Iran was very nice. They said, we're going to shoot them at 1:00, okay? I said, it's fine, remarked at the bombing. He added, everyone is evacuated out the base so they wouldn't get hurt except for the gunners. They called them the gunners, and out of 14 high in the missiles we shot at the base in Qatar, all 14, as you know, were shut down by our equipment. Amazing stuff. Amazing that they could do like shooting a bullet with a bullet. It's the same thing if you think about it. They told him, we're shooting at you at 1:00. They said, it's fine.
Is Trump saying, did Trump literally tell him it's fine, or that's fine, or was he just summing up his response?
He said it's fine.
Flames mm-hmm. coming out of the sides of my head.
Mm-hmm.
This is all minor arcana. Until we can get Democrats in. And says you need another source. I don't believe anything coming out of his pie hole. I understand. It just no.
This was he live. He said this today live at the thing at NATO.
Yeah.
So this was from a live press conference. Now, is he lying? Possibly, but the source, it's a primary source. It's out of his mouth. He's saying he said it's fine.
Are you going to believe me or your lying eyes and ears? Yeah. Until we have Democrats in power, there's not much we can do. Democrats are there. They're organizing. They're waiting. And Trump's going to get backlash. More Democrats pulling together and family members of service people. Can you imagine if your kid was at that base? And this man stands up there and says, I said it's fine, we evacuated them, except for 14. Wouldn't your blood pressure go up to like 3 feet above your head?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, just blunderdum himself, just tra-la-la, fruits of labor. Oh, and he's constantly telling on, oh yeah, we have this many submarines with these capabilities, and I realize that some of this stuff is public knowledge, But the president doesn't need to be running his mouth.
That part.
And more of him and his bludgeon. Until we get Democrats in power, there's not much we can do.
I'm inclined to believe some of this simply because I do remember, as someone else pointed out in the chat, it has been reported elsewhere that they did evacuate quite a few members. There was reports of evacuation on the base ahead of time before the bombings, which would be indicative that he knew ahead of time. So, yeah. All right. At 26 even.
It's fine.
Mm-hmm.
It's fine. Chat's asking, how does Congress feel about this? Well, is Congress going to do anything about this? No.
Yeah, we're talking about Congress at the end. Joy.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
Oh, yeah. So Carol's got a question. Will Mad Donnie Dumpster somehow get Iran and Israel to sign a peace deal like the Abraham Accords because of his insane psychopathic bombing, as in a broken clock is right twice a day? Basically, is he going to luck himself into fixing this?
Well, will he take credit?
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
He's still trying to say that the bombings just were 100% success, just decimated. They'll never come back from this. And even the satellite images are like, oh, look, you moved sand from here to there in a desert. It didn't work. And they moved stuff out of the way. We really need, and Nettie's saying we really need the full House of Democrats on board. And because there's some now who are voting against impeachment. If it's not going to pass, why not just, I mean, even if you're like, well, this couldn't happen, get on record.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, CC Ryder, that just made me want to hurl. So I'm going to put that down. I'm even going to talk about that, and I'm going to put it down to a difference in languages.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-mm.
And you can look in the chat if you want to know. But okay, sorry. So is he going to luck into a peace deal? He's going to take credit that he doesn't deserve. Illusions. Day late and $1 short. In other words, you missed. There's the military, and there's right in the middle Donnie, the pathetic, narcissistic man that he is. But he's the emperor, and the cult is so proud. So proud. Let me see if I can find out anything else.
Excuse me.
I thought I heard that the ceasefire actually is holding at the moment. Is it? I don't know.
Maybe they need to shut him up. Like, look, are you tired of this guy calling you? I'm tired of this guy calling me. Let's just put a pin in this. We could pick it up down the road. I mean, yeah.
We've been fighting for a really long time. We'll just revisit this. Illusion, delusion again. And I think we're going to be talking about that later, because I have been very adamant for a long time to not blame Dumpy's actions on dementia. But I think his dementia is starting to catch up with him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's next.
Yeah. But he's still, it doesn't have to be this way.
Mm-mm.
So, yeah, illusion, delusion. What am I reading him?
Is he is a broken clock right twice a day? Basically, is he going to? We know he's going to take credit for it, but is he going to have anything to do with an actual resolution for this?
Okay, thank you. I needed to refresh. I wasn't thinking.
You're good.
Because I couldn't see what had been timestamped, what hadn't. I'm sorry.
You're good.
Gaza, anybody? Knight of Cups, Six of Charity. Don't give him anything. And don't give Netanyahu credit for anything. You know, for the record, I hope everyone understands that I have zero issues against the Jewish people or people who are Jewish. They're awesome. People are people. Cue Depeche Mode. People are people. They're good people. They're bad people. Like or dislike people as individuals. And as an individual, I can't stand Bibi Netanyahu at all. Yeah. He's a monster. That's what I think.
My issue is not with the people of Israel. It is very much with the leader of Israel and the leadership of Israel. So, and
what Hamas did, 100% against that.
Oh yeah.
But there should not be what's happening in Gaza going on.
No. 3155. Along with other heads of state, Trump spoke at the NATO press conference this morning, where he proceeded to take over completely at one point and tell everyone how wonderful he was for brokering peace between Israel and Iran, and just on and on and on. And this goes beyond his normal narcissism. Are we actually watching his true mental decline in real time? Like, yeah.
And if you think about it, Melania isn't there. Ivanka isn't there. Jared isn't there. And I'm not saying that those were great people who had great ideas, but at least he talked to them. Now, what has he got? Nazi Ferratu, Stephen Miller? His chief of staff? That's it. Who's he? Shady Vance?
Yeah.
Oh, he very much wants to keep out of power.
Hexa?
Yeah. Oh, God. Keg's breath? Mental decline. Well, he has access to better medical facilities than any of us. But he doesn't really, he's not doing what a real doctor would want him to be doing right now. There's a little bit of partying here. There's not listening. That's refusal. Cups are often medical. He's under a lot of stress. You can see it in his communication. King of Pentacles. All right. I'm not getting the worst of the worst here, but it's still bad. It's not great, but it would take several more years at least for us for all of them to get to the point of saying, okay, there's a problem that must be dealt with here. Until then, are
we just going to Reagan it?
Yeah, to some extent, because anybody who's had parents who were aging, the decline is often there's a problem, but you can kind of keep things.
Yeah.
But your parents probably didn't have the nuclear codes.
That part.
Yeah.
Yay.
Kathy Whiplash, could you take that comment out of the chat, please? You may not know what that word means. You might want to look it up. But try to keep things clean around here. So, thank you.
All right.
Yes, Debsy, Rubio does look like a hostage, but this is entirely of his own doing. Mr. Jelly Spine.
Yeah, that is, yeah. Marco Rubio is the poster child for buyer's remorse. Whew. All right, at 35:45. The Georgia GOP is literally tearing itself apart with a large sect of leadership bailing to form the Georgia Republican Assembly, which is super far right. So what will this mean for candidates like MTG? Because that's, you've got people leaving, that's donors that are leaving, they're not as organized.
The Georgia Republican Assembly Party, is that what you said?
Yeah.
Oh, they might actually walk off with some donor money.
Does Hugo Boss come in camo?
There we go. Yeah. Yeah, they're communicating. Far, far, far right. Women's rights? Nah. None. Not listening to anything remotely. No. But they're all for judging. Very judgy. Judging. Blowing a horn in your face. It's the hope card when it goes bad. The hope card when it goes bad isn't necessarily no hope. It's the wrong side has hope.
Yeah. Because
they're the donors. They might actually walk off with some of the donors. So does this see? But here's the thing, and I've talked about this a million times. I'm sorry. We have different parties in this country. We don't just have two. What we have are two umbrellas. We have our coalitions are baked in. That's the only difference. So Republicans going with other Republicans isn't necessarily going to help us as much as you might think, but take care, Jennifer. Yeah. The legality of the party. Will they still be affiliated with the RNC?
Not from what I'm seeing.
Really?
I could be wrong on that, but not from what I read on Raw Story.
Because the first card is the ending card. And there's the Ace of Cups, which is a huge amount of money. Also the beginning of an enterprise. Sitting pretty. There's a Justice card and the King of Pentacles. So I'm wondering what if there are legal aspects to this, because this is your donors. So yeah, it's the card for the reading is it could potentially help us as their extremism becomes more talked about. But
well, there you go.
Marianne said, love from Canada. Hello. Love from Chicago.
Shreveport. Hey. All right. Well, at 39:40. So the Senate version of Trump's megabill is roughly $400 billion with a B more expensive than the version that the House passed. This could force senators to include deeper cuts to programs like Medicaid, which some moderate members of the GOP see as a political liability. You think? So ultimately, will this pass? Are they determined to cut off their nose to spite their faces?
Up until now, I've been getting that they're going to have to break this thing up. But the energy can change as we're floating through the timelines. And yes. Did you know that I was reading an article this morning that there's some scientists who are doing studies and they got some light, photons, to be simultaneously in 37 different dimensions. And they're also talking about the very beginnings of the idea of creating space-time as a thing. The universe is a lot weirder than we think.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay. Okay, look. These are the cards I'm getting. Card for the reading is the Empress. This is the country. Okay. Sleepless nights, worrying over the bill, the damage it could do. This is their plan. Could be the bird bath. Trying to reconcile the two. House and Senate bills. Knight of Cups, this is in the middle. This is going to be those who are saying, hey, Medicaid, Medicare, you don't want to mess with these.
Right.
There's the institution. That would be Congress. And it ends with the far right feeling beaten up. Let me double check. See if I can. The bird bath, BYRD. The bird, is it amendment? Bird, whatever it's called, says that when you're using reconciliation, it can only be about things that have to do with directly do with the budget. They tried to throw some things into the big bonkers billionaire budget bill that would give Trump more power or what have you. But the parliamentarian is like, no.
Angelica, that is so cool that your in-laws live in Leesville. My oldest bonus baby lives in Leesville with my grandbaby. So, yep.
So the reconciled bill. Because once they have something, it's got to go back to the House. But we know Speaker Mikey's going
to... He ruins everything. He really... It's not that he'll eat the joy out of everything. And then Mike will eat anything. Mike will eat the joy out of everything.
He won't like it. He hates everything.
He hates it. Hates it.
This is very weak on the far right, but okay. Fruits of labor. People are hemmed in. Wheel of Fortune. So that is a big change. Not listening to decency. Ace of Swords. And I'm having to ask for clarification. Is that a splitting the Gordian knot for the reconciled bill, or is that a new legislation? Yes, and Byrd rule. It's the rule. Thank you. Byrd rule, no bath. Named for Senator Robert Byrd. Yes. And so the Byrd rule, they jokingly refer to when you take the two bills, one from the House, one from the Senate, and you bring them together and you're trying to reconcile the two, they call that the Byrd bath. BYRD.
Very cool.
This would do a lot of damage. We know that. There's the country. There's working. There's Dumpy's base of power, but these are quite weak.
Thank you, Scattershot.
Scattershot, thank you so much. On really hot days like this, my kitty only eats when you're online. Oh, precious. Oh, precious kitty. Oh, good kitty. I'm not getting definitive. This isn't. It's because this could be they have to go back, work on more, and deal with Trump. The energy's not clear. It's just not. Budget, the reconciled budget, we need to know. Ace of Swords again. There's a possibility that they could finally cobble something together. But if they do, you will guarantee voting from here on to be very different than what it's been. Because Trump did not get his victory over this.
Right. It is Wednesday, and there are a couple of things that I want to touch on. So we're good. How about we look at 10 and 11, and we'll move 8 and 9 to tomorrow.
Sure.
So at 46.50, 55. Nettie brought to our attention that Nettie thought it was only 3, but I actually looked it up. The majority of Democrats in Congress, 128 of them, including Jeffries and Pelosi, voted against the impeachment that was put forward.
Any reasons given?
No, not as of yet, because this is all pretty fresh. So, where does that leave the others seeking 47's impeachment? Now, this was impeachment for the impeachment documents for illegally starting a war with Iran.
See, here's the thing. There are moderate, I wouldn't say moderate, I'd say centrist Republicans who are older. Not all, but some who are older. But there are more moderate Democrats. Sorry, I meant to say Democrats. There are moderate Democrats who they think if we go too far to the left, that it hurts our chances of getting back in power. However, what's happening is that President Blunderdum is so bad. This bonkers billionaire budget bill is so bad that it pushes Democrats to the left because of centrist Democrats doing stuff like this. Because they are, the voters are saying, from what I can tell and what it feels like, the majority of the voters are saying, we want people in there who will agree with nothing that they do. Nothing. We've given up too many rights. This is too cruel. There's too much pain. Nothing. Agree with nothing of theirs. So, there was some talking behind the scenes. There always is. There'll be big judgment if you vote this way. But okay, what it feels like is that the majority who voted against impeachment in the Democrats, what it feels like is they didn't want to take any attention away from dumpster fire digging his own political demise.
Right. I just want to clarify, because it is being brought up in chat. Here's the thing. table in this instant means to kill it. So, the House, because the GOP put the motion to table to kill the bill. So, and the House voted 344 to 79 total, and 128 Democrats voted with the Republicans. And so now this was Al Green's forced vote on a 5-page impeachment resolution accusing Trump of disregarding the separation of powers and devolving American democracy into authoritarianism by unconstitutionally usurping Congress's power to declare war. And it's solely focused on the fact that Trump did not seek congressional authorization for the strikes or provide evidence demonstrating that there was an imminent threat to U.S. forces. So, yeah. And on this particular bill, it's done. So we can, somebody can say, well, I was just saying tabling. If the GOP says table on this, table is tabling.
Yeah.
So indefinitely. So
yeah. I also have no interest in wasting time bashing Democrats. This is something that came up, so it's worth looking at. But just so everyone's aware, as time goes on, I know there will be, sharp elbows when it comes to what's in the tent, what's under the umbrella of the Democrats. But I'm not going to take part in much of that. But I'll look at some of these things.
All right. So at 52:10, let's look at, I dug up some good news this week.
Hey! Yay!
So we're going to end with talking about good things that have happened.
Yay!
Yay! So let me get over here. What has gone right this week? Let's see here. We have a drug trial that is a milestone in leukemia treatment. A new drug pathway is transforming the lives of people with leukemia and can revolutionize how the disease is treated, scientists said this week. The comments came in response to a study that found a new combination drug therapy significantly outperformed chemotherapy for patients with chronic lymphocytic leukemia. So this would replace chemo. So that's good.
There's still going to be side effects.
Mm-hmm.
But they're going to continue research, and there may be more good stuff added to this.
Good.
Because leukemia is nasty, can be ending, and you've got to find the balance. But there's definitely hope.
Very, very cool. And there was a ratification at the UN Ocean Conference that wrapped up in Nice last weekend. Let's see. The summit offered some signs of progress in the race to save our oceans, with more nations ratifying a global treaty to protect 30% of the high seas by 2030. Jamaica, Indonesia, and Norway among them. It means that 50 nations have now ratified the treaty, just shy of the 60 to make it law. High Seas Treaty ratification is within touching distance, Greenpeace's Megan Randalls added.
What does it do?
It calls to halt deep sea mining. And it helps with it helps prevent dumping. It puts more rules into what actually can be put into the ocean, that kind of thing. So
they're going to run into problems with corporations and financial interests.
Okay. Well, that's okay. That's okay.
Yeah.
And
but we're moving in the right direction that we got this far.
Yes. There are at the Ashton Awards, which this has been going on for 25 years. It's an annual prize that's worldwide that identifies equitable solutions to the climate crisis, providing grants and training, whatnot. 3 of this year's winners include Repowering London, a social enterprise bringing solar power and lower bills to communities in London, which I think we've discussed that they're having a bit of a crisis right now, an economic crisis. So anything that will lower bills is awesome.
Yes.
Emergent Energy, which helps social housing tenants generate electricity through solar. And there's another one called Cotality, which is helping housing providers improve energy efficiency of older homes.
Let me have a look at the UK financial issues.
Okay.
Not necessarily good news, but I'm just... Yeah, Sarah and I have been talking a lot about that. There have been a lot of videos. And of course, there are always people who are having trouble paying their bills, but there have been documentaries that you can find on YouTube about it. Hiccups. Okay. I mean, it's a great country, the UK.
Mm-hmm.
Need some aggressive legislation to help have a new start. Also need to make decisions, but vote for people who care the most about you. There's the moon, which is chaos, but it's right next to justice, this would be the hiccups. There's chaos, but then there's balance. And there's chaos, and there's balance. And there's chaos, and then there's balance. So I'm just getting hiccups. Let me see. How are you doing? How are you doing, boo-boo? Did you get a little nap? Brexit, that whole thing. Anyway, okay.
Well,
yes. Lewis, a lot of medical advances and more to come with AI, or A1, according to Linda McMahon. Yeah. No, that's absolutely true. It's exponential knowledge growth, and it's huge. And what's coming is beyond. We can't even wrap our heads around what's coming.
Mm-mm. Iron Cauldron, yes, I heard about that. There is now a preventative vaccine out for HIV.
Yay!
Oh, yes. So
Kathy is saying it's AI. It's a lowercase I, not a capital I. Okay. Anyway.
So yeah, there are some yuckadoo things going around, and we're not going to be able to fix the climate crisis and everything in one fell swoop. There are some things that unfortunately may not be able to be repaired at all. However, there are people that are trying. There are little advances being made in places that will help somehow, and there's medicine that's coming out, and we just wanted to make sure that we didn't leave everything with completely bleh right now, right? Because it's not all. It's not. There's a lot of bleh.
Yeah,
there's a lot of bleh, but we can't, like we talked about last week. I'm not sure if it was last week or the week before, but I refuse to allow these people to take all of my humanity. I have to look for the good where I can find it. So,
because people are people, and there are so many good people. And I was just showing his little fuzzy face because he's joining the Cats Against Squirrels party. He saw a squirrel outside. walking around, and he was like deeply offended. Kitties against squirrels. Yes, the Kitties Against Squirrels party. How you doing? Is that your platform? Or is this your platform? This is his platform. He stands here every time he wants. Are you on your platform? Yes. All right. Well, that is going to do it for us for today. Thank you so much, Sarah, for coming on. Thank you. You are a joy. All right, everybody. Tomorrow's Sarah's day off. And so I might be a little discombobulated, but I'll do my best.
Yes, and then there's not going to be a stay calm tomorrow, correct?
Correct.
Okay. And so there are lots of there are lots of previous episodes if somebody needs a guide through. And if anybody has any spare energy, and trust me, I know if you don't right now, I completely understand. But I have a kiddo who is having her wisdom teeth, all 4, removed tomorrow. Oh. So yes, if we can send some extra energy to my Beckaboo, that would be lovely. So she'll be okay though. So she's tough. She gets that from me.
All right. Well, that will do it for us for today. But hi. In about an hour and 40 minutes, there'll be Creative Sprints over on the Creative Sprints channel. Sarah will be holding down the fort until I can find my way back. And other than that, I will be right back here tomorrow for my 5.5 year anniversary.
Awesome.
So, you'd think that people would get sick of me by now, but here we are. All right. No, you're so precious. All right. So please remember you're not alone. We are in this together. There are good days ahead. All right. Little purring, little biscuits. All right. So take care. And we will see you later.
Yes.
And I will definitely see you tomorrow.